And come to lying down on your back now. And I encourage you to have your props close by. So just at the ready, your straps, your bolsters, your blankets. We'll do our usual back warm-ups. Starting with just simply laying down on our mats, on our backs, and taking a moment to feel the ground underneath us. When you stay present, you can feel that the body is adjusting even to something as simple as lying down, right? If you're paying attention to what you feel in your body, you'll notice, oh, I'm feeling this in my foot right now, or my back seems to be giving me this information. So take a few moments, just be mindful of this simple lying down pose. And we'll continue to pay attention mindfully as we bend the knees, bring the feet hip width apart, knees also hip width, but the knees are up off the ground now. And we're going to our usual one of crossing the ankle of one foot onto the thigh of the other. Getting ready to interlace our fingers around the hamstring so that we're pulling the foot off the ground. If the fingers won't interlace around today, then you can grab onto your pants. Just pull on your pants to bring your knees and your hips towards you. And we're going to hold here longer. Sounds like that worked really well for many people when we did it last time. Hold here for about a minute. So you have lots of time to first notice what you're feeling, be really honest. Be reflective. Self-reflection is one of Patanjali's yamas. Is there a way for you to bring grounded ease into this position? Let's get ready to change sides. When that side feels complete for you, back to center, knees hip width, feet hip width. Take a moment before we change just to notice how's the body here now. And then cross the other ankle over. And let's interlace fingers with this other leg, pulling the knees and the hips towards you. Maybe circling the ankles a little bit, getting a little blood flow there. And breathing. Breathing easily, any breath that feels supportive. As you notice what there is to notice on this side. As you hold, contemplate how to bring grounded ease. And for some of you, it might mean doing a little less. And for others, it might mean doing a little more, maybe pulling the legs a little closer, getting a little more deeply into the pose, and enjoying a few breaths where you're really opening something up. It'll be different for each of us. Are you ready to let that go now? And back to where we started. And this is a good time to get a pillow, bolster, or blanket into place. If you like the support of that when we're doing knee drops. So I invite you to bring your knees into center, open your arms long along the floor from shoulders on out, and then flop your knees over to one side. And that might be onto a blanket or bolster, or it might be straight down onto the floor, depending on what feels best for your body and your body's needs. If you've gone all the way to the floor and it feels strained or hard to hold there for a long time, the bolster placed underneath your thigh or your hip or your knee, you might have to adjust, where is the most supportive place for that bolster? That might allow you to really find that sense of grounded ease in this pose. I'm going to breathe and hold. Staying present with what you notice in your body as you hold here. Remembering also that we're learning to invite ourselves to drop our commentary. So we don't have to have theories about what we're feeling. We don't have to make judgments about what we're experiencing. We're invited in yoga to find a sense of contentment by suspending those theories, judgments, worries, cares, just temporarily. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And then contract the core. We've got the strength to bring the knees back to center. Take a little pause at center. Might need to readjust. Get ready to put the bolster, blanket, pillow support on the other side. And then flop the knees over the other way. Arms can still stay wide across the floor. And let's breathe here. Finding ease, inviting contentment. One more breath here. Back to your core and bring those legs up to center. Excellent. We're going to reach for the strap next. Me too. Hopefully it's not too far away from you. Remembering that if you don't have a strap, you can always use a housecoat tie or a long towel, just rolled up. Thinner towels are better for this. Or if you really don't have anything, you can simply use your fingers. So the option is to have your fingers interlaced around your hamstring with your foot pressed up towards the sky. You've got the strap or something similar. We're putting it around the bottom of the foot and pressing the heel skyward and holding for 5 breaths here now. We're seeking ease as we are in all our poses today as we practice asana. However, we're always looking for the interplay between ease and our edge. So for me, once I've been in the pose for a couple of breaths, sometimes I can do a little bit more. And that might make it a little stronger of a sensation. But for me, I know that there's ease in that because my leg will release. I'll feel the benefit of having done a deeper stretch because this is a tight area for me. Now that might be different for you. Maybe ease today for you is to do less. So you make that choice. Take one more big breath here. And then before we move on, we're going to do a little pointing and flexing of the foot, a little mobility in the ankle. And let's make some ankle circles as well. One direction and the other direction. Keep the same foot in the same strap and open it out towards the side. So I've got my right foot in the strap, so I'm opening off to the right. I'm going to see if I can hold the strap with only my right hand. So that opens the left arm up to stretch out along the other side as a counterweight or counterbalance. See what works for you. Find the amount of intensity that you'd like to have here. And let's take 5 breaths. Jaw relaxed, your face soft. When you're ready to change it over to the other side, as in, bring the foot back up to center and cross your hands. It's the other hand that's reaching, same strap, same foot, but it's coming across the body. And I've changed hands with the strap so that now it's my other arm. For me, it's my right. It's available as a counterweight. Now that the leg has gone to the other side. 5 breaths. Is there any way to do this with ease? Excellent. Bring the foot back to center, and we're just going to change sides by putting the other foot into the strap. Press that heel skyward. Find the amount of intensity that you'd like to use on this other side. And let's hold 5 mindful breaths. Let's try some pointing and flexing. Mobility through the ankle on this side. For me, it's my left foot. And circles. Thanking our ankles for all their support. Change directions. And we're taking this leg off to the side now. So I've got the strap on my left leg. So I'm aiming it off to the left, holding the strap with my left hand, and opening my opposite arm long along the floor as counterweight, counterbalance. And 5 breaths. You do have the choice with the other leg, the one that's not in the strap, having it bent, a bent knee with the knee up, foot on the floor might be better. For some, it might feel good to open that up by lengthening that leg. So you try it and make an adjustment, see if it feels right or not. What are you noticing? Getting ready to come to the other side. So bringing the foot back to center, grabbing the strap with the opposite hand to pull the leg across the body, opening the opposite arm along the floor as a counterweight, finding the intensity that feels right for you, and 5 breaths. Is there any way to settle in here? Excellent. Let's bend the knee so that the strap can be removed and put it off to the side. And do anything now that feels restorative for you. So maybe you like to hug your knees in and rock. Maybe you like to stretch out long, feet to one side, arms above the head. Anything your body's calling for. Water. And let's turn over onto stomachs. Good. So take a moment, lay on your stomach as you let the ground support you. And then we're going to start doing some strength-based work. So get ready for that. Rock your hips out, check it in with your low back here. And we're going to use our hands underneath our shoulders to push ourselves up to hands and knees. We're going to go into, first we should take our socks off. We're going to need a little grip. We will be going into downward dog in a few minutes. But first, we're doing chaturanga is a common yoga pose in yoga studios as a strength one. It's also called the yoga push-up. And so I invite you to place your hands directly under your shoulders with your fingers spread. Stretch your legs way back behind you so that your toes are anchoring you to the mat and your feet are hip width apart. And then drop your knees. Let's take a little bit of weight with our knees today. Now we're going to start to bend the elbows. And we're looking for a particular spot where the elbows are bent, but we haven't dropped our chest below our elbows. We're not going super low. We're keeping the body in this kind of plank position where the shoulders are still a little bit above the elbows. This is hard. So hold what you can, take a breath, and then anytime you need to, slowly lower yourself down and rest for a moment. We're going to do it again, but we'll do it in short bits as we build strength up for this one. So a little rest. And then your legs are in good position. So you can, from your hands now, push yourself up. Yoga push-up. We're pushing up to fully extended arms. And then we're bending at the elbows. Coming a bit, kind of like halfway. So we've got bent elbows. We've got a big open heart. We haven't dropped our chest so low that our shoulders are sagging below the elbows. We want to keep the shoulders a little bit above the elbows. One more big breath. And then slowly come down. Woo, good job. Rock it out. Rest your arms. Excellent. Push yourself back to hands and knees. We'll just thread the needle to let everything go that we worked on there. Take a hand and send it between your other hand and knee. It's going to reach along the floor, reach, 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 until we're rested down on one shoulder and the side of the head for 5 breaths. Finding grounded ease here. Little core contraction so that you can bring yourself back to center. Good, and we'll go the other way. From hands and knees, it's the other hand. It goes between the existing hand and knee. Reach, reach, reach until you're lying down on your shoulder and the side of your head. If you ended up with one elbow high in the sky, just bring it on down somewhere comfortable. And 5 breaths, letting it all go. Finding some surrender in this pose. Good. Coming back to center. Now, if you've got a block or a bolster, I'm going to use it in a new way for a downward dog today. So if your body is feeling up to doing a downward facing dog, then I invite you to put your block or your bolster in a position so that when we're up in downward dog, your head can make a little bit of contact with the block or the bolster. Okay? It'll kind of be like the little bit of your forehead, a little bit of the top of the head. It's not as far as the crown of the head for this one. So then, as we always would do, we've got the hands under the shoulders and the fingers spread really wide. We're feeling that sense of the pads of the fingers anchoring us to the ground, feeling the earth below. From the hands and knees position, we're curling our toes so they can take weight, and then simply straightening the legs. Now, I'm realizing for me, my bolster isn't anywhere tall enough for my head to actually touch it. So that didn't work, but maybe it's working for you. Anyway, find whatever downward dog is going to work. Keep pressing those hips far, far back. And press one heel at a time towards the floor. And see if you can find some grounded ease in this pose. Where can you position yourself so that you can hold still but feel supported? Beautiful. Let's bring the knees down. And the bolster at least is in a good position for a supported pose of child. So if you do have a bolster or a block or folded blankets, you're welcome to now put them in front of you so that you're able to lay on top of them for a supported pose of child. The other way to use a block or bolster that might be helpful to you, or you could use both. You have a bolster to lay on and a blanket, or even your sweater or sweatshirt tucked in between your hips and your heels. That's another version of supported pose of child. So take a moment to find the one that's going to work for you. And we're going to hold here. It's not bad. We're going to hold for a full 2 minutes of surrender. Continue to observe your breath. Sure that your jaw is relaxed, your face muscles are relaxed. And come on back up slowly. Well done.